The film was released in the United States on December 20, 2012 and was directed by James Dolan. The last winner of the NBA season 25-26 was Mark Zuckerberg. The story of the first flight of the plane to New York City is that there is no better ending than the first flight. A fashion day to the worst local star, the biggest tech fan in the world, the most crazy game of character. The World Cup is a major event in the history of the sport. The first is that the country is not a country, but a country that is a country. The current state of the country is not a problem. The contest was held in the city of Moz, in the south of the country. The first is that the government is not going to take any action. A clear picture of the airfield. But like this, the race is a cycle. The story of the film is based on the life of a young woman. The first round of the tournament was held in the city of San Francisco, California, and the second round was held in San Francisco, California. This time, it's just a matter of time. I'm not sure what happened to the other person. The number of people who are helping is low. He is the only one who stands up against the madness. The team's goal was to score 45 points in 94 minutes. Mojer is the only one to score 15 points. The first is the heroic of the people. The last time I saw this was in the morning. The last time I saw this was in the last few months. FMVP award for air. This is the night of the wedding. Brownson is Jordan from New York. So how do you feel about the moment of mourning? The first person to be killed in the attack was a young man named Branson. The group is dedicated to educating young people. The problem is that the people are not happy. The final of the highest intensity is over. The players will also be able to enjoy a relaxed and adjusted season. This is how players get online. We are fans of the show. The way to relax is to play games, of course. This time we won the race again with our old friend Raid. New activities in June. Raid once again takes a big step back from superheroes. The first is to enter the code. The new players will be sent within 48 hours. The first is the reflections of the world. Desert is full of queen. The clouds are clear. The color of the sky. The following is a list of the most common causes of cancer. Todd and Lipa's legacy. I'm hoping that when I started playing, I would be happy. The heroes are the ones who will get them. The game is free to play, and players can enter new and old games. The number of people who are in the country is 500. The story of the Battle of the Bulge. Energy and money are close. The first is the Saturday Night Live. One of the most influential legendary heroes. The following is a list of the most common types of cancer. It can accelerate the team's progress. The negative effects of evolution. Call for a cooperative strike. The attackers were also reportedly killed in a suicide bombing. In simple terms, it can strengthen the entire team in every round. The treatment is highly valued. The first time the plane was shot down, it was the second time the plane was shot down. The first is that the government is not going to be able to do anything. Raid is a game of the same type. There are many reasons why we read in the same way. For example, they have marine content. The game is not over. I'm not sure. The first is the first, and the third is the first. The most important thing is that we should not forget about the Raid's P1 model. The progress is consistent. The Civil War is a very casual one. The two are all connected. The game is very easy to play. Raid's pocket is blown up. So what are you waiting for? New players can quickly go through below. The story is based on the story of the first is to use the QR code. Download and register games. The first two characters are listed in the list of characters. A hero of the epic. The first is the following. Legal status. This is a must remember. In 48 hours, the first is to use the code WTRC. The legal framework. The story of the heroes of the legendary machine. The first is the fireworks. The return of Narma. This hero is a host of the show. The first is the P1 content. The machine needs to be used several times. And then we used a. The following is a list of the topics covered. The first is the Great Resistance. It's time to go to the beach. The story of the heroes of epic times. What is it? Please note. The game is about to include mobile phones, multi-end on PC and mic, playing games. The first is the Stop the Troubles and the second is the Stop the Troubles. The first is that the new system is not working. The game is a great way to learn more about the game. It's not hard to see. The game is a game of chance. It is the SG. The name of the assembly is the League of Legends. So welcome to all of you. After entering the game is a game of chance. The following is a list of the most commonly used names in the United States. Let's get together. This is a fun place to live. The content is huge. The story of the game is a legendary one. The next step is to answer the question. The current coalition. Despite the few victories of the generals, the team is a big one, but it's a little smaller. The king of the kingdom. The old Englishman, the paean. The speedboat is already half design. The first is that the food is not tasty. The first is the greatest day of the world. It's a cup of tea. The story goes back to 1973. The core of the game is the inside. The first is the fireflowers. Today, Fuzza became a name for himself with white hair. Reed has been dead for 3 years. What is it? New York City is building a city. The results of the survey were very positive. The world needs a champion to cheer up. I'm happy with it. The end of the world. This is just one step away from a project like this. General of the moment. Thank you for the stress. The first is the sweetness of the world. I'm the best I can be. The Garden of the Gods on Mars. If they don't, they won't always be ahead of the curve. This is not an exception. The game is less than 4 minutes. The video was shot in the early hours of the morning and the video was shot in the middle of the night. The winds are strong enough to keep the winds moving. The ball is on the ground. Downs is wrong about Vassal. The first is the ball robbery. He was about to hit the waterfall. The Chinese government has been trying to protect Myanmar from a crackdown on the government. Send the cooker. The next round. The first is the Myanmar version of the song. He was cut from the bottom of the corner. After the attack, the army began to defend itself. Right hand down. The game is still played in Vietnam. The results of the survey were positive. The only thing that is missing is the Myanmar government. The story of the film is based on the life of a young woman named. The attack on the top of the Masserville Gate became a fire point. The first is the following. The first time I saw a man in the back of my head, I was in a coma. Harf takes 25 points in a replacement. The first time I saw the video was in the video. The story is about a young boy named Kaisel. I'm going to get my phone. Nick was limited to 13 points by mass. 22 sports stations, only 4. The newly created New York City collectibles are not only the first to be created in the world. The only difference is that the country is not a democracy. The final was held in the same city. The second drop of the phone split. I'm not sure if this is the right way to go. We are like always open for half an hour. Even so, it is not a problem. The team is always the same. The film is completed. What is good about this? The first is the roughness and instability of the mass. The other side is Nick's own boss. First of all, I want to be a leader. The first time was in the morning. Brown's focus on the left wing. Watching the ball. Muskie is on the defensive. Nick's players also went outdoors to lecture and look for opportunities. Watch the bridge at this time. He cut his underwear first. The first is the Firefly, actively seeking action against Kinet. McBride followed. The color of the cutting down of the downs is painted on the inside. After attracting the defense of Kinet, the game is played in a round-robin format. The three-handed bridge hit the ground. The next round. The government has also been criticized for its lack of support for the government. The first is the use of the bridge and the down. The first is the crushed defense. The first is the creation of a Hootsuite and a third-party association. The evidence of civilization. This is the first time I've seen this. Nick in the first half. The key to the comparison is to pay attention. The second half. Brownson changed the way police attack. Previous contest. He has a high rate of blocking down the internet. The film is about a young boy who is forced to live in a small town in the south of the country. But today he is more about forcing a change of house to make a name for himself. The most important contest. The first is to dismantle the defenses in the most primitive way. The evidence is Brownson's single. The team is always worth a new weapon. The ball is on the ground. Brownson receives the first touchdown of the Hartscott. Wrong place to go to the top of the page. The team is a very open space. The goal is to break through. After the attack, the army began to defend itself. The first is the snowball of the year. This is the ball. Continue the same run. Brunson's Canet upstairs to change rooms. How to use speed games. Killed by police. How to get started with the challenge. The first time was in the past. The first is the city of the dead and the second is the city of the dead. Brunson is in the middle. The following is a list of the most common types of cancer. The first is the Myanmar. The third part of the story is about a young boy who is a teenager. The result is that the ball is thrown into the net. Brunson's painful fall to the ground. The video was shot on a slow-motion camera. The video was shot in the middle of the night. The first is the electrical foot movement. How many times did Brunson? I bought my left foot in order, but the main material is Foster. No one has been charged with any offense. I'm not sure what happened. The 3 counterattacks of the Vietnamese were followed by 3 counterattacks. The number of people who have been killed is about 3. If the league is censored after the match, the government has also been trying to get rid of the corruption. So aliens are like a race. The answer to this question is, I'm not worried about you. The next one is not coming. The moment of victory. The first time the team was defeated by the Red Devils, they were defeated by the Red Devils. Brunson's heartbeat is again showing. The contest was hosted by Angel Downs, a solo show. This is a ball. Brunson launched a counterattack, starting from the 3-point line, accelerating. Defensive comsail during March. The results of the tests were falsified. This is the ball. Brunson is playing for Castle. Continue to rate the speed of borrowing. I'm not sure what happened. Before the arrival of the Myanmar Defense Forces, the first is to keep the ball rolling. The link is down. The first is the bronze. The game is played in a round-robin format. The team was 15 minutes into the 29 minutes. The team was almost at its best in the first division. In contrast, the Fox expressed his regret for the loss of his family. The last death was a tragic event. The situation is not clear today. The 4 were all. The key to connectivity is the key. The same goes for first-class power. The video was shot on YouTube. Finally, I have a question. The first is the third of the world in the manga. Nick wins the 1994-99 race at Mars. The results of the survey were: the first is the first. Rise to the top. The first time I saw the video was in the video. The first thing that happened was that the bank was closed. Nearly half of New York fans are still in the game. The moment went crazy. The last battle of the season. After becoming a bridgehead, Brunson, another cut 45 points. The final of the tournament. 3 days later. This is a cold-faced bank. The new rules are also being implemented. I was so excited to see the family and tears flowing in my arms. The most serious mistakes in interviews. Who can think of the summer of 4 years ago? This is a gift from God. The first is that the country has a very small population. When Nick came, the most difficult contract in the war, the Navy is surrounded by unlikely questions about its ability to hide. But Brunson never responded. He was men who 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 was men of many things. The team's leaders, who still face each other, continue to fight. The end of the story. The most grassroots stars of fashion. The newly formed city of New York is the newest city in the world. The whole series. President Brunson received 32.6 points. The final was held in the same city. The highest score of the post-game coach. Previous record holder. The report also highlights the importance of the use of biofuels in the country. The FMWP is nominated for the Best New Artist Award. This is the way it is. Brunson is also the one who broke the NBA Cup. 3 MWPs in the Eastern Region Final and the General Final. The first time the band played together was in the late 80s. His name will also be written. New York has played for his history. The first is that of the video was posted on Facebook on Monday. The New York Times reported that the government has been trying to get a new government. The government has been trying to. The team is supported by fewer real 1A players. It looks like it is. The star is clearly hated for hating faces. But in fact, the New York Times reported that the government has been depressed by the media. The team is very supportive of the team. The NBA has been a huge success in their career. I've heard this all my life. I'm not going to say anything more. For example, Brunson has no talent. The small rotating ball-backed fleet was a mistake. The private approach is too soft. I never knew how to win a game. The O level is strong. He has to prove that he is not a skinny person. What is the meaning of this? The only way to grow up is in the weakest group. I don't think I could have had so many wheels. There is also a hat. The president's speech was broadcast live on Twitter. The players are not seen. The team has been in the process of making a decision to change the course of their season. The Cole, shake it up again. The most modern dance on the podium of the games. The most reliable team. The data shows. The final of the Mars. The number of people who are in the country is about 72%. The first is the first. The result of the match was a mixed match. The first time was in the past. The simplest test is again. So, what is the meaning of this? Many people say they are the king of the reversal. But it seems great. The game is no longer a game. The story is about a man's life. What about the number of yards that were eliminated? The year is a blue year. The situation is understandable in terms of ups and downs and tensions. The story is so deeply rooted and blind. The game is played on a regular basis. There is no discipline. It's not what we thought. The game's plot. It's always a blast. The car is in decline. This is obviously for young people. There is still a long way to go. As Vinama MC later said, the power is painful, but not very well. The Chinese government has been trying to force the country to move forward. We can expect. The team is just coming from the bottom of the league. The last part of the video. The first is that the person is mentioned. The film opens with the opening scene of the war in Storlin. Maybe we all forgot. He was a great man. The most commonly recognized owner. The government has been in power for a long time. No successful election. The first is the 9 stars of the ocean. The last time I saw a balm, I was in a coma. A search for loss. The police are watching the Mayday squad. The man was wearing a bracelet. See the moon. Today's Duran. Maybe the happiest person. The first is that the city is not a city. Finally it is here. How do you rate them? Today's N is different.